1 Peter 5:8 says, "The devil is seeking whom he may devour." Join Don Allen as he looks to make you undevourable.
Hey, thank you for giving me 7 minutes of your day to make you undevourable. I'm your host, Don Allen. We have been talking about a team that is so powerful, a team that knows no defeat. A team that once these two come together, all sicknesses and all diseases are put on notice. We're talking about the team of your faith and God's healing power. That's a team that no sickness or disease has ever been able to defeat. And so if you're in need of a healing or a miracle, maybe you've struggled at times to get one, stick with us here because we're going to show you how to unite this team and defeat the sicknesses and the diseases that might be in your life. Now, we've seen some great examples of this team, faith and healing power. And one great example is in the story of the man brought by four. We know that these men, they had faith and they went and they carried their friend and they came and they tore that roof off. And it even mentioned when Jesus saw their faith. And we at times have assumed that, well, maybe faith was the only factor in this man's healing. But God took me back to the start of the story, and he began to open my eyes to the fact that there was something else involved in this man's healing. Luke 5:17 said, "And the power of the Lord was present to heal them." Faith and power teamed up. But notice these others in the room that day, nobody else. Even though it says that it was present to heal all of them, no one else was healed. Why? They did not have an understanding about healing power. They didn't recognize its availability. They lacked a knowledge on how to reach out and take it or even know that it was made available to them. Now, this has led us to begin to discover the laws that govern healing power. And the last time we were together, we likened healing power to electricity so that we could better understand it. And we said that electricity's always been around, but it took someone to discover the laws that govern it so that we could harness it and make it usable and benefit from it. Today, I want to talk about law number 1 of healing power, and it's this. Just because the healing power of God is present, it does not guarantee that you will automatically be healed. Now, again, referring back to the story in Luke 5 about the man brought by four, we know that it says that Jesus is preaching in a packed-out room and that the power of the Lord was present to heal them, all of them. Now, remember, this was said before we even knew of a man brought by four, that the power was already present to heal them. It must have been God's will to heal everyone in the place that day, but we know that even though the power was present and that it was God's will for them to be healed, only one man was recorded to had been. The story ends with this paralyzed man walking out, and the people said, "We have seen some strange things today." Now, I bet this healing was talked about for some time after, and just like us, I bet there were people who also needed to be set free from sickness and diseases that saw that miracle. They went back home without it, and they begin to question, why wasn't I healed today? Right? You've probably been there before. Why wasn't I healed? I needed healed. I don't understand. And at the end of the day, we know that nobody else was healed outside of this one man. And that tells me that just because the power is present, that's no guarantee that you will just up and be healed. No more than just because electricity is present in my closet, the light doesn't just come on because I need it to. The power of electricity is available and I need my light on, but it's never just turned itself on because of the availability of power or because of the need for light. Law number 1, just because the healing power of God is present does not mean that you will automatically be healed. We have all made that assumption before. Well, God, you know I need healed, so just heal me. Why won't you just heal me? And in those times, we find ourselves beginning to get frustrated because of a lack of understanding. And eventually that spills over into all kinds of things being said that are not true. We can find ourselves sitting there saying, well, I do believe, and I know he's a healer. And again, just assuming that because I was in a service where somebody else was healed, or I heard somebody's testimony, and I'm not healed yet. So, well, some begin to say, healing's not for today. And they base this off of healing not manifesting in themselves, even though they've seen others healed. Well, that's like looking out your window at your neighbor's house and seeing the lights on, but yours are off, and saying, well, electricity's not for today, or saying there's no electricity at all. Well, the other thing that we tend to start believing is if I've not received a healing, is that, well, you know what? It may be available, but God doesn't want me healed. Well, again, likening this to electricity, that's like looking at all the neighbors' houses on your block. They're all lit up. Street lights are on. Somebody's got a radio playing in the background and seeing that everybody else has electricity. And you're saying, well, the electric company doesn't want me to have electricity. I mean, I can see it's on in everybody else's house. I can see the wires are running from the pole to my house. I can see the meter box is on. No one from the electric company said it was shut off, but my light in my closet still isn't coming on. I can see power for my microwave is on, but the power for closet lights must just not be for me. It must just not be the will of the electric company for me to have closet light power. I called Mary down the street. Her closet light came on. The electric company knows what I've done in the past and how bad of a person I've been, and so they know I can't have that kind of power. That sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? Well, that's what we act like when someone else has been healed and we walk away without ours. That just because the power is present does not automatically mean that you're just going to be healed. Even with all those men in that room that day with Jesus and the power being available, it was not enough to jump on him and just heal him automatically. And it wasn't because God didn't want him healed. And it wasn't because the power it was just for the one man at one time. It all boiled down to a simple lack of understanding about that healing power. The four friends recognized its availability so much so they never even asked if it was Jesus' will to heal their friend. Even after discovering they couldn't get in the door or window, couldn't climb in, couldn't bribe an usher to let him in, they never equated those natural barriers to mean that God was trying to keep a healing away from them, and it wasn't for them today. Most modern day believers, they would have packed it up and walked away assuming that it was not his will, or at least not at this time. But these men understood that what was needed for their friend to be free was in that room, and they weren't going to allow a crowd, they weren't going to allow a roof from keeping their faith from his power. And once those two teamed up, this man was free from an incurable disease. He was forgiven and he was free. So let's not allow natural circumstances to invade our thinking. Never equate natural hindrances to it being not God's will for you to be healed. There's always going to be obstacles to overcome, but if you're going to continue to fight the good fight of faith, push through those obstacles, remove them as they did this roof, set yourself that no matter what, I'm getting my miracle. I'm going to continue to chip away at ignorance concerning healing power, and my faith is going to team up with his power. And when that happens, that's going to make you undevourable. God bless you. I'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening. If you would like more information and resources on how to be undevourable, we invite you to check out our website. Go to www.TwoGuysAndABible.com. That's TWOGuysAndABible.com. You can also contact Don Allen directly for prayer. His email address is don@TwoGuysAndABible.com. Telephone is 573-216-1871.